Hello everyone, myself John, an alumni of MDS Conquer, would like to discuss on tracks of spinal cord. What is a track? A track is a bundle of axons passing in the spinal cord. If this is the brain and this is the spinal cord, the bundle of axons passing in the spinal cord. If this is the periphery and these are the cell bodies, and this bundle of axons passing in the spinal cord are called tracts, and these are further classified as ascending tracts and descending tracts. The tracts which carry senses from the periphery to the brain are called ascending tracts, and from the brain to the periphery are called as descending tracts. Ascending tracts are also called as sensory tracts, and descending tracts are also motor tracts. As sensory tracts carry impulses from the spinal cord to the brain or thalamus, these are called as spinothalamic tracts. And motor tracts from the cortex to the periphery, they are coming, so it is called as corticospinal tracts technically. So coming to the structure of spinal cord, for our orientation, this is anterior or ventral side, this is dorsal side. So this is called dorsal horn, this is called ventral horn. So the all the motor senses are purely seen in the ventral horn. Motor supply is seen in the ventral horn, and the sensory supply is relayed here the dorsal horn sensory, and this is dorsal root ganglion. All the sensory supply coming from the periphery relay in the dorsal root ganglion, and they come through to the dorsal horn, and from there it passes to different structures. So coming to the ascending pathway. So as we discussed, the sensory supply come from the periphery through the dorsal root ganglion and to the dorsal horn. Here from here they pass upward and pass upward. See if here this is the sense coming from here. It passes upward. So all the white matter present here can be divided into further classified into different parts like two halves. This is dorsal column. This is anterolateral column. So dorsal column is considered as modern column as it supplies or it relays very like precise senses like proprioception, 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 vibrations, and fine touch. Fine touch or 2-point discrimination. Okay, all these senses are supplied by the dorsal column, and ventrolateral column supply or relay crude touch, pain, and temperature. Okay, crude touch is mainly anterior, and lateral column is pain and temperature. Okay, and how these are relaying here, this is further divided into two parts. This is gracilis, and this is cuneatus. Okay, senses from the periphery coming and they move ipsilaterally upward to the medulla. This is medulla, this is pons, this is midbrain. Okay, here we have again four nuclei, two central gracilis nucleus and the periphery are nucleus cuneatus. Okay, here they get decussated. They decussated and move upward. Okay, and this decussation are called arcuate fibers, and this entire complex is called as medial lemniscus from there. So lemniscus means, actually fascicle means a circular bundle with axons, and a flat bundle with axons is called as lemniscus. So through medial lemniscus it passes upwards superiorly. Here this is thalamus, and here in the posterior ventrolateral part of the thalamus they get relayed. This is thalamus. Here we have third ventricle. Okay. And these are white matter present in the brain. uh, this is this is called nucleus of lenticular or lenticular nucleus, and actually it is surrounded by white matter both laterally and medially. So the scientists say that this is surrounded like a capsule, so they named it as internal. This is as internal capsule and this is as external capsule. So from here, from the posterior ventro-posterior lateral part of the thalamus, this fibers goes to the posterior head of internal capsule. From here they get fanned. Okay, same from here they radiate like a crown of a king, so they are called as corona radiata, and end at the cortex, that is postcentral cortex. See, if this is the brain, this is the brain of a patient. If this is medial sulcus, postcentral, this is postcentral gyrus. All the sensory supply gets ended here near the postcentral gyrus. So this is how the medial lemniscus and the dorsal column gets pathway. Okay, through the dorsal column, through gracious and cuneatus nucleus they pass upward and through the thalamus and the posterior ventral area and to the posterior head of the internal capsule they get radiated, and to the postcentral gyrus where the receptors are present, sensory receptors are present. This is all about dorsal column for fine touch, proprioception and vibrations. And here we can see from the periphery to the dorsal horn, this is first order neurons. From here till the thalamus, okay, from here till the thalamus is second order neurons. From the thalamus to the cortex, this is third order neurons. Okay, this is all for dorsal column. And for the anterior and lateral columns, the sensory supply through the dorsal column, it enters through the dorsal horn and it crosses here itself. Here this is the anterior lateral column, right? So they get the crossover in the spinal cord itself and they pass upward. Okay, they pass upward, and similarly near the posterior ventral column, and same like anterior horn, the dorsal column, they supply to the different parts of the cortex. Here one point to be noted is special pathway is pain pathway. It's similar like previously discussed, except pain pathway has different components, like emotional component we have, no. Here we have a nucleus called as cingulate nucleus. So few fibers pass to cingulate nucleus and few fibers pass to the insular cortex. Okay, and few pass to the cortex. Here the insular region helps for autonomic response and singular is for emotional response, and this cortex is mainly perceives pain. Okay, and here the dorsal, here we have discussed about the dorsal horn, right? Here we have substantia gelatinosa. Here this is helpful for gate control theory, where the A delta fibers uh, and C fibers are going through the same pathway. The more stim- stimulus which is applied, that stimulus passes more rapidly and it inhibits the other pathway. So from here only we got like acupuncture techniques and that counter irritants called liniments or ointments like Jandu balm and everything. So this is the sensory pathway or ascending pathway. Here till now we discussed only about conscious sensations, but there are some subconscious or unconscious sensations, like the sensations in the joints, ligaments and tendons, everything. It should be carried to the brain so that for proprioception and everything, like joints are placed in a proper position and during proprioception also. So this is subconsciously perceived by the brain. So here the subconscious sensations are transferred to the cerebellum. This is called cerebellar spinocerebellar pathways. Okay, here it is again of three types. One is dorsal spinal pathway, dorsal spinal cerebellar, two cuneate spinal cerebellar, and three ventrospinal cerebellar. So here the cerebellum is attached to the midbrain through peduncles. Inferior, this is superior peduncle, middle peduncle and inferior peduncle. So dorsal is nothing but the senses from the brain through the dorsal column ipsilaterally passes to the brain and through the inferior peduncle it supplies to the midbrain, and cuneate also the same, and the ventral spinal is here from the senses. It passes through the opposite side of the ventral or anteriorly, and it passes contralaterally, and again it passes superiorly through the inferior peduncle, and it crosses back to the same side. So ultimately these pathways, spinocerebellar pathways, are ipsilateral. Okay. Now coming to descending pathways, same like descending pathways from the cortex, they need to reach the periphery, and the cortex here is precentral gyrus. Precentral gyrus is motor, whereas postcentral gyrus is sensory. Here, okay, if we broadly classify descending tracts, there are few branches coming from the cortex. Okay, from the cortex they descend, same like they fan down to the and posterior, and they come down. Okay, these are called from the cortex, and few from the subcortex. I'll explain. The tracks which are coming from the cortex to the periphery are cortical tracks, and the tracks which are arising inferior to the cortex, these are called as subcortical tracks. Okay, here we can see from this diagram, from the cortex it is arising and going through the spinal cord. These are called as corticospinal tracts. Corticospinal tracts. Few tracts come inferiorly, but they never reach the spinal cord. They are stopped near the midbrain region. These are called corticonuclear corticonuclear tracts. The best example for this is cranial nerves. They arise from the cortex, but they never reach the spinal cord. From the midbrain only, the cranial nerves supply to the parts of the brain. Okay, and the subcortical tracts are nothing but the tracts which come from the which arise inferior to the cortex, like in the brainstem they get originated and supplied to the different parts. These are called subcortical cortices. Okay, we'll discuss later. First, coming to corticospinal tracts. Okay, so from the cortex, from the precentral gyrus, they arise. Here they get one of the main important feature is they get decussated in the midbrain, and they pass to the contralateral side. So if any lesion above to the decussation, contralateral side is damaged, and any decussation inferior to the decussation, the same side motor nerves is damaged. Okay, we'll just see a tabular form of these tracks. One is ascending tracks, second is descending tracks. Okay, ascending tracks can be further classified as like from cerebellar hemisphere or cerebral cerebral cortex, and the other is from the cerebellum. Yes, from cerebral cortex we have dorsal column and anterolateral column. Dorsal column through arcuate fibers and uh, medial lemniscus and through internal capsule they reach cerebral cortex and they supply fine touch, proprioception and vibrations. Okay, and anterolateral similar pathways, they supply pain, temperature and crude touch. Crude touch, crude touch. Crude touch is anteriorly present and lateral is this is lateral is pain and temperature. Coming to cerebellar, we have three nucleus, three tracks. One is dorsospinal, cerebellar, cuneatospinocerebellar and ventrospinocerebellar pathways. Okay, coming to descending tracks. Motor tracks, we have from the tracks which arise from cortex and from the subcortex. Which arise from the cortex are corticospinal, from the cortex to the spinal cord it's reaching, and few which doesn't reach to the till the spinal cord are called corticonuclear or cranial nerves. These are cranial nerves. And the subcortical we have further branches like tectal, rubral, reticular and vestibular. Here you can see, suppose if this is a posterior surface brain stem and here we have peduncles and these are pyramids. Okay, the tracks which passing through the pyramids to the spinal cord are called pyramidal tracks, generally corticospinal tracks. This is the spinal cord, and the rest of the tracks are called as extrapyramidal. This doesn't reach till the cortex pyramid, so this we leave this, and these are called as extra pyramidal as they don't travel through the pyramids. Okay. Here we will see the functions of different extra pyramidals. One, tectal tectal nucleus or tectal nucleus. Here if this is the brain and midbrain, here we have superior colliculi and inferior colliculi. These both together are called as, here this is patient. Okay, for our orientation. Superior and inferior both together are called as tectal nucleus. From the superior colliculi, we have visual reflex. Suddenly, if a ball strikes, we see a ball coming to our face, we just move our face. So that is called visual reflex. And inferior colliculi, is auditory reflex. So suddenly, if we are sleeping in a class and if teacher shouts at us, so the her sound only makes us awake and will be alert, right? So that is called auditory reflex. So that is tectal. So from here, from the tectal nucleus, it's supplying to the spinal cord. Yes, and the rubral is red nucleus present in the midbrain. Okay, this and this helps us to add the sit, like suppose vestibular nucleus we have same from the midbrain. These are vestibular nucleus. It is anti-gravity muscle, anti-gravity. So it helps us to stand. Okay, the reflexes. These are mm, like suppose if suddenly a VIP comes to our house or to a place, unknowingly only we stand, right? So that anti-gravity reflexes are vestibular reflexes. Along with we have here reticular area. This is reticular area. So in the reticular area itself, in the pontine region we have nucleus is called as pontine reticular, and in the medullary we have that is medullary nucleus. So reticular can be further divided into two types. Two have it, one is pontine reticular and medullary reticular. So pontine reticular along with vestibular help in standing. Medullary along with rubral or red nucleus helps to sit. Okay, and the tectal nucleus helps in visual reflexes. Along with this, we have one more nucleus called olivary nucleus. Olivary nucleus, that is suppose brain. Here we have cerebellum. So here we have olivary nucleus. This pass senses to the cerebellum. These are the extrapyramidal tracts. Okay, if we see the diagram clearly, this is dorsal side, this is ventral side. Ascending tracts. This is nucleus gracilis. Gracilis. This is cuneatus. Sorry, sorry. This is cuneatus. The one which is medial is called gracilis. Gracilis, and one towards laterally is called cuneatus, and this both together are called as dorsal column. Okay, and this is anterolateral column. Okay, and we remember the functions, and this is the cerebellar nucleus. Like this is dorsal cerebellar dorsal spinocerebellar nucleus. This is ventrospinocerebellar nucleus. Okay, and coming to motor nucleuses, this is lateral dorsolateral corticospinal nucleus, and this is anterolateral corticospinal nucleus. So what is the significance? As we here clearly discussed, the nerves which getting decussated here, 90% of nerves contralaterally pass and they end up here laterally. These are called lateral corticospinal tracts. They help in movements of peripheral limbs, and 10% pass straight and end up in the anterior corticospinal tracts in the anterior region. They help in the axial body movement, axial body movement or axial muscles like trunk, and peripheral is nothing but limbs. And the extrapyramidal nucleuses are like, this is rubral or red nucleus, this is tectal nucleus, visual reflex, and superior colliculi is all what we need to be remembered. And here this is west inferior one is this is vestibular nucleus, okay, anti-gravity reflexes, and this is reticular nucleus. As we mentioned, it again has two types, one is pontine and one is medullary. Okay, this is all the outline of the tracks of ascending tracks and descending tracks. Okay, and clinical correlations are very much important. Like, suppose if hemisection of this spinal cord is done, like if you see, if hemisection of this spinal cord is done, so what all the structures are lost, and what all the, see, if hemisection is done, uh, the senses present, what are the ipsilateral senses are lost, and what are contralateral sides. Like as we saw, decussation is done here, right? So we see in hemisection, inferior to it, contralateral side hemiparalysis is seen, and ipsilateral loss of senses. All depends on the area where we do the hemisection. Okay, if it is above decussation or below decussation, or where the crossover is seen, like here for sensory, the crosses where the crossover, the lateral parts, anterior lateral gets decussated or crossover done at the region, and so there is a contralateral loss of crude touch, pain, and temperature, contralateral defects. And ipsilaterally, here we can see ipsilateral fine touch proprioception vibration, as because the crossover is done at the region of higher centers, that is at the region of medulla. Okay, and here and contralaterally we have motor nerve, because the decussation is done at the superiorly. So we need to be clinically relate all these conditions and answer according to it. So for elimination process also, it is very important. If they give spinothalamic means from spine it is going to thalamus, so it is sensory. From periphery it is going to sensory, so all motor options can be eliminated. And if from the corticospinal, it is coming, from higher it is coming to motor, so sensory options can be eliminated. And if he is dealing about precentral gyrus, so he is dealing about motor complex, so all sensory can be eliminated. So by elimination process we can choose the best option along with those nucleus present there.